Hi everybody, welcome back to the Drunken Bull Ranch. I'm Reed. So I wanted to show you all this. I just got home. It's it's getting dark. It's got to be around 7:30. Anyway, so I'm actually home a little early today, but I just fed the pigs, and I'm going to show you this group here. So they're eating corn and squash. Actually, they've cleaned up the squash. I fed them first, so the other groups are probably still eating. But, oh, sorry about that. I'm banging the camera into things on the tripod. Anyway, so what I wanted to show you was that over here behind me, if I can get this camera to work. Okay, so here's what these pigs are eating. There's corn, there's butternut squash. Most of that's corn. Sorry, I got interrupted there for a second. So over here, there's corn, butternut squash. Here's sweet potatoes. This is my little chopping station because I cut it up so that they'll eat it. Then over here, we've got spaghetti squash, more butternut squash, stuff like that. And if you look over there at the truck, I got 4 more pallets of this stuff that I picked up today. Anyway, so every night I load up the buckets for the next day because I got to get up early and be gone for work and whatnot. So I'm out here in the dark doing this, and yeah, it's no fun. So I do all the cutting and whatnot the night before. So let me show you this. So these squash, if you just throw it in like that, the pig doesn't even act like it's there. Doesn't eat it or nothing. But I found that if I take it like that, and I just went and got a cleaver, but if I break it up and throw it in the bucket, then the pigs will eat it. Anyway, and so yeah, this is my little chopping station. I should show you this. Basically, it's sitting on 4 pallets, and then I put a block of wood up there to use as a chopping block. And then we've got everything in these boxes here, including onions. And I cut it up until I've got 6 buckets full. And believe me when I say that these pigs are eating all of it. I feed them 2 buckets of corn, which is about the equivalent of 50 ears. There is 6 pigs. Oh, hang on. There is 6 pigs in each of those 2 pens, and there are the 4 larger ones in the other pen over here. And I'm gonna say there isn't a bit of it left by the time I get home. So they're eating it. Anyway, so I determined that I needed to feed them a little more. So they're getting, let's see, each one of those buckets has about 25 ears of corn in it. There's 6 buckets, so that would be 150 ears of corn, night and morning. And then I'm filling up these 6 buckets that I got right here with squash and sweet potatoes and spaghetti squash and onions, and they clean up every bit of it. Anyway, I'm actually adding another bucket because they've been cleaning it up and going through all of their feed, and when I get here they're hungry. So I'm adding to what I normally would feed, 1 extra bucket, just to see what that does. Anyway, excuse me. Anyway, my allergies have been driving me nuts lately. But yeah, so basically they're eating quite a bit. So anybody who's looking to get into raising pigs, just know that you're going to spend about an hour a day taking care of this stuff, and they eat a lot. So in total we have just let's see, 16. But I looked on, I got curious, so I looked on Google, and they say that a pig should eat about 7 pounds of feed a day. And I'm assuming that's like the 18% or 21% pig feed. They should eat about 7 pounds as an adult. But I'm here to tell you that these guys are putting it away, and it's not going to waste. So in order to have them ready for processing on time, let me come around. Sorry, I got stuff in my way. In order to have them ready for processing on time, which we're going to be pushing it. 6 are supposed to go in November and 6 are supposed to go in December. And I don't know if we're going to have all 6 for November, so we might have to reschedule and do something different. But yeah, there's a lot of feed that goes into your pigs. If I wasn't getting this stuff basically donated to me because they're just trying to get rid of it and they don't want to pay to put it in a landfill, then I'd be feeding a lot of expensive feed to these pigs. So any way that you can find to what's the word I'm looking for, yeah, I just went brain dead. Basically to supplement their feed, that was the word I was looking for, is a good thing, because their feed is basically, if you're buying it by the 55-gallon drum, and I've mentioned this before, it's about $100 a barrel. It came to 114 the other day. And so I've just had enough that I haven't even been feeding them that feed, but they go through less of that than they do of this. I will say that. But this, I believe, is a better quality feed because, I mean, it's vegetables, it's corn, hasn't been processed, hasn't been sitting there all year. So I think it's just better. But again, this is my personal opinion. So anyway, let me set this back down and I'll get back to chopping while I'm talking. But the pigs absolutely love it. And the reason I'm getting chopping is because it's getting dark and I gotta get this done before it gets dark, or I gotta go get a headlamp. So yeah, the pigs absolutely love it. They will eat this stuff before they eat their other feed, and I'm okay with that. But yeah, you spend a lot of time chopping. And like I said, if you don't chop it up into something like that, they'll pass it by and go eat whatever's next. But I found that even with the ends, if I just cut them in half and throw them in the bucket, then they're good. And they're over there scrapping over an ear of corn right now. Anyway, just wanted to share that with y'all. I know my videos are kind of short and I talk a lot and whatnot, but anyway, the whole point is that if you're going to get into raising pigs, you got to have a feed source. And if it's an expensive feed source and you're feeding a lot of pigs, it can add up in a really big hurry, even if you're only raising them for 7-8 months, which generally speaking you can get a pig to slaughter weight in 7 or 8 months. But they will eat you out of house and home, no doubt about it. And it's hard enough to make a profit off of pigs that if you're having to buy the feed at the cost that I have to buy it at, you wouldn't make a dime. And like I said, if I'm not making a video, it takes me about 45 minutes to an hour to get everything prepped for the next day. So yeah, it's kind of costly. I mean, 7 hours of my time per week, which is basically a whole work day. But I mean, it's spread out enough that I don't care. So anyway, as always, support your local farmers. Have a wonderful day, and check out this pretty sunset. And then the moon is coming up over there. Anyway, the sunset is not as pretty as always, and the camera's not doing it justice, but there you go. So yeah, support your local farmers. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk at you later.